tries to get a kick away. Fantastic tackle by Woosha. He put the pressure on.
Well, John, congratulations on breaking the club record for most number of games coached. Can I ask, when you were playing, was coaching something you thought of early, or was it something later on in your career?
It was definitely later in my career. It was really not even strongly on the radar when I finished playing, because I'd studied pharmacy and the aim was that was my position when I finished playing. I would be a pharmacist, and had the opportunity to do some media work in my first year out of footy, and really noticed that I missed being involved around the club atmosphere, and then from there started thinking about a coaching career.
Yeah, but that gap year was important for you, just to see what the adjustment was after footy. Then going to Carlton, as you did, first year under David Park and the second year under Wayne Britton. Moving to Melbourne, did you enjoy that, getting away from WA?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I found the whole experience valuable on a lot of different levels. Yeah, one, challenging myself to get out of the comfort zone of growing up in Perth, all my support here, and being fated a bit as captain of the Eagles for so long, to go over to a little bit more hostile environment in Melbourne, where I wasn't quite the hometown hero, and starting from scratch at Carlton, really getting to know people and getting them to understand what I was about was a really good challenge.
And then coming back and becoming now one of the select few to have played and coached the Premiership. Can you discern between the two which is more enjoyable?
Well, yeah, when people have asked me around what did you enjoy more, playing in the Premiership or coaching the Premiership, my simple answer is, as a young boy growing up, I didn't dream of coaching a Premiership. I dreamed of playing in one. So that was what it was all about. But coaching is a very rewarding role to play as well, and more so seeing the development of the young men underneath you and then seeing them achieve together. Having played in a Premiership gave me the ability to understand what they would feel and the rewards they would get by playing in a Premiership together, which made it special.
So through that tenure, John, too, a lot of players you've coached, a lot of talented players, no doubt, a lot of players you've enjoyed coaching. Can you name a couple of those in both categories? Because they don't necessarily fall into the same box, do they?
Not always, no, they don't. Well, yeah, I've enjoyed coaching players. Rowan Jones, team man, and knew he had a clear role to play for the team and got the absolute best out of himself. But also guys like Adam Hunter, who just had an absolute passion for the game, and as much as we try to guide him to say there is life outside of football, it was very hard. He was so focused. I tried to get him to take a Monday off to freshen up, and his attitude was, no, I want to come to football. I want to be here. I was lucky enough to coach late in their careers guys that I played with, like Jakovic, McIntosh and Matera. So obviously outstanding players to have seen and understand what they brought the team from both sides. But then Cousins, Judd, Glass, Cox, yeah, been pretty blessed.
And of those you have coached, John, would there be some that you would just note straight away that would have a future as an AFL coach? Some show up earlier than others.
There's players that I just look at and think, whatever they choose to do outside of football, whoever gives them an opportunity is going to be very lucky. They're going to have outstanding people who are going to make a massive impact in areas that they choose to go into. So, Darren Glass, as he's developed as a captain of the football club and finished his uni degree, and then as a captain has just had such a wealth of experiences to draw on, and working closely with me and understanding why I make some of the decisions I make around growing the team together and strategies. I think he's well positioned to have a massive impact either as a coach of AFL football, lower level football, or in the business world. He'll be an outstanding acquisition for someone.
Now, in terms of what the trends are, John, is it becoming difficult for the players to keep executing those trends because it's getting physically more challenging? Is there a threshold? Is there a physical threshold?
Yeah, I think the threshold will come when physically players can't cope, and you'll see that through injuries or illness, where players get run down and can't maintain the levels. If we get them running further and quicker, they'll get lighter. They carry less body fat now than ever. They do become prone to fatigue and then therefore prone to more illness. And we do often hear about certain players. I know Sheed's always listed someone as having the flu, but we do see it. It gets within clubs, and it can get hold of players very quickly. Colds and flus and spread through the group. So I'm sure there is a threshold there that depending on what we call how we build the players. We're getting them leaner to run further and quicker, but they still got to hit hard and
more often.
And more often, yeah. It's the game. The ball is in action more. That was an aim of the AFL, to keep the game flowing. So there's less little pockets of rest. So it's pretty intense.
Are you a career coach? Is there some slim chance you might go back to pharmacy? Does that sit on your shoulder at all?
Really, yeah. When I got through my first couple of years and re-signed an extended contract with the Eagles, I took the punt to say I need to make the cut from pharmacy and really put 100% into this role, which it was going to take. And, I've stuck with that. But outside of coaching football, I would love to use some of the strengths I have and some of the skills I've learnt over the years in other industries. But I don't know exactly when and where that will be.
John, with the current squad, where do you see the possibilities for season 2012 and beyond?
Yeah, really, I see this group now as it's got a very good mix of senior players with some really talented youngsters coming through. So I think that's the reason we had such a strong year last year, and we should be able to be right up there in the mix this year. And the aim is that over the next 3 years or so, we will have gradual changes between Glass, Kerr, Cox, Emily, Lynch, some of those older guys. As they hang up the boots, we've got to make sure we've got some really talented players to take up some of those key roles, because the rest of the squad will be starting to peak. Nat Nui, Shuey, Scott Selwood, Lacroix, Hearn, Rosa, they'll be peaking in 2 or 3 years, and we don't want to just then be in a blooding situation of another group of young players. So it's a tough and it's a balancing act, but I think we've got the ability to do it.
Well, John, another significant achievement in your career and your life, an accolade well deserved. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ross.